Hello, my name is Nick Malloy and welcome back to my eFortfolio page. In this video, we will be taking a look at Dynascape. This is the first industry-specific software that we are learning in our Hort 120 class. Just like AutoCAD, there's a model space where all the drawings are done in a 1-to-1 scale using real-world measurements. This is done by downloading the background image and scaling it to make sure that it is 1-to-1. This is done by picking 2 points where you have the known distance and specifying the distance between them. Just like AutoCAD, we use the door frame, which is 3 feet. Then the rest of the drawing is scaled proportionally to it. Then we had to move the image, which is a little bit more difficult than in AutoCAD. First, we had to make a box around the image to move it. In Dynascape, images are automatically locked and cannot be moved. AutoCAD and Dynascape differ in their paper spaces. There's a separate paper space where the completed drawing is moved to and then scaled, but in Dynascape, the paper size and scale is selected before we start to draw. Another difference between AutoCAD and Dynascape is the polyline function. The polyline in Dynascape is better than the one in AutoCAD because the arc function is built into it, so you can use a grip edit of the polyline and move it around to create a curved line. The middle grip functions as the apex of the arc, where you can drag it to make the arc larger or smaller. This is better than AutoCAD because you have to guess where the midpoint is and then edit your line after it is placed. Just like AutoCAD, you can select the whole line if it is a polyline. Once we had our outline for our patio, we then used another polyline on a temporary layer to create a border for our hatched pattern to be placed on the patio. The polyline was used for the gravel pathway, the flagstone path, and the patio in the mulch beds. In Dynascape, the layers are different from AutoCAD because they're already loaded into the software. The set layers they provided do not all have to be used. There is also space for new layers if you wanted to add any. Just like AutoCAD, these layers can be turned on and off and locked whenever you want. There are 2 color options for each layer, which are for the model color and for the output, which would be when we print our design. Dynascape has a menu where you can revise the layers and move objects to them as needed if they are on the wrong layer. When drawing, it is easier to see if you are on the right layer, since all the layers have a specific color. Having pre-made layers makes it easier in 2 ways. First, being we did not have to create every single layer beforehand. And second, we know if we were on the correct layer because of the color we are drawing with. In AutoCAD, we had to use circles to represent trees and shrubs and had to download blocks such as tables and chairs into our drawings. Dynascape is different from AutoCAD because there are figures that are already pre-made, such as trees and shrubs, which help with the design. Along with those, there are built-in blocks and figures in the figure section so that we can easily access them and put them in our drawing without having to go to an outside source. There are many blocks in there, such as cars, benches, patio furniture, and more. Everything is already downloaded in the software, making it simpler and easier for the user. The trees and shrubs were much easier to tell the difference between, and you could group plants together using the cluster tool. These helped give more detail to the drawing and made it feel like there were not just circles representing plants. Along with different symbols and designs for trees and shrubs, there is a special tool built in which labels the plants. This is useful so that we can show what a certain symbol represents for a specific plant. In this tool, there is a cluster tool which has grouped several shrubs or plants together in a certain area, erasing the lines which overlap so it looks more pleasing to the eye. Then each cluster can be auto-counted with the plant label tool so you can see how many of one plant is in that group. Dynascape has an online data space full of plants to choose from, which helps label the plants and gives us a plant list so we can choose from several different kinds. The plant list also is a unique feature to Dynascape, and this takes all the plant labels and puts them together in a table. Industry-specific software is designed for the landscape industry, opposed to non-industry specific software that is used universally in many other industries, including architecture, interior design, and manufacturing. The specific software focuses on landscape industry includes tools such as plant lists, hardscaping materials, and outside amenities. Dynascape, unlike AutoCAD, has specific tools to label shrubs and trees. These trees and shrubs are placed as figures rather than objects, shapes, which have proper landscape notation to them, rather than just having various sizes and colors of circles. When placing them into Dynascape, it provides you with the option to rotate, resize, and angle the object you are setting down. AutoCAD has separate tools to place down objects. Industry-specific software also has landscape tools like labels and a wide variety of hatch patterns to symbolize surfaces. Dynascape has specific hardscape material built into it. In AutoCAD, all blocks must be imported, but in Dynascape, there's already a wide variety of site amenities and furnishings. These tools are very useful for landscape designers since they do not have to go out of their way and download an object and import it into the image. As you see, using industry-specific software has some great advantages over non-industry specific software. AutoCAD was more user-friendly and a little easier to learn, but once you got used to Dynascape and see the great features it provides, many people would prefer to use it over AutoCAD for this industry. The plant labels and symbols were easy to work with, and the polyline tool was a huge advantage since we could curve a line using the grip edits. Thank you for visiting my page once again.